precursor to our live show.
It's the part where we sit here and bullshit while Daniel does the last couple things of bookkeeping.
Though I have a much more efficient way to do our sharing and stuff now.
Oh, good.
Which happens all on my phone, and it's a lot easier to press all the buttons. But the problem is I have to look down on my phone while I do it. Yeah. But here in just a moment, we're going to be talking about all like
there was some
today.
Star Wars news.
Yeah, there was some pretty cool shit today. We are going to be talking about it a lot.
Well, I mean, if you look at your calendar, you might notice that it's May 4th.
It is indeed. Yeah, I'm going to mention that in our opening. All right, I think we're ready to go. You ready? You ready for you're not going to be able to hear it today because you're not here, but
it's fine. Let's go.
Yeah, here comes the logo. Hello and welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And we are here today on the day of our Lord Luke Skywalker, May the 4th, and celebrating all the gifts and glory from him given to us. And may the peace be with you.
And also with you.
Thank you. And may the 4th be with you. So yeah, May the 4th. It's our favorite day of the year. So we're gonna be talking a lot of shit. Actually, I need to make sure I have my list up because it was a cruel thing that whoever was in charge of Moon Knight, they're like, you're going to have to do your season finale on May the 4th.
Oh, God.
Where no one will pay attention to what happens. Everyone will be so focused on Star Wars that it's not even funny. So, sorry, what?
I mean, something had to come out on May 4th. Yeah. I guess it was just this.
Yeah, it couldn't have been fucking Kenobi or anything. Anyway, so today we're going to do the Kenobi trailer. Breakdown because I've got notes. I did fucking frame by frame shots of it. We're gonna go through each one. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Book of Boba Fett Disney Gallery feature that happened today, which was also actually really cool. Probably not as much, and we will do as much of the Moon Knight recap as we can. But you know, we gotta do that Star Wars stuff. Like that shit's like like fine grade heroin. It's so fucking good. Before we get there, thanks to our partner Connor at the Star Wars Hub and Star Wars Veritas, and also thank you to you, our viewers, everyone coming in from Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. You should follow us on all of those platforms. And this is gonna connect to the giveaway I'm gonna talk about here in just a moment. Before I do though, next week, a week from today, you'll be seeing a graphic now. We're doing our Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back watch-along, May 11th at 7 p.m. Central. It will be a blast. And basically how that works is we'll bring our version, we'll bring our copy of the movie. You bring yours. We'll tell you when to start. We'll start ours, and we'll sit and have a party and talk about Star Wars and watch what I think is irrefutably the best Star Wars movie there is, and possibly the best film that's ever been made.
I think the critics would certainly agree with you as far as Star Wars movies is concerned.
It is. So there's some contention between, like, my partner's favorite is Return of the Jedi, and there are a lot of people that feel that way too. So
my favorite is Return of the Jedi, but I can acknowledge that Empire is better objectively.
That's really mature of you, actually, be able to do that, because most people are like, I like this one. Fuck you, it's the best.
Anyway, so bring out your copy of Disney Plus, your DVD, your VHS, your Laserdisc, your Betamax tape, the illegal version you downloaded off Kazaa in the early 2000s.
Whoa,
whatever you got.
That's not a name I've heard in forever.
Yeah,
it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll after the stream, I'll be posting a graphic, and I'll be mentioning it on all of our streams. Also, since it is May the 4th, throughout the month of May, we're doing a $200 prize giveaway. It will be at the end of May, the beginning of June. This is all you have to do. You have to follow us and then comment on any of the live streams we do this month. Not all of them, any of them, any one. So what I'll do is I'll see if I see someone, I'll see their comment. I'll go and make sure that they're following us somewhere, either on Facebook Live, Twitch, or YouTube, and that is all you have to do to be in the prize drawing pool. So do that.
That's really easy.
It is super, super easy, and it's really good for us too, because we get to defeat the social media algorithms. We'll never defeat them probably. Also, right after this, we have a special video game stream where we're going to do Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. So
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's a neat game, and it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. So right after this at 7:00 p.m. Central, here in just under an hour. Unfortunately, Chris isn't here with me. He's in a different town right now. But I guess next week when you're here, we'll play video games together, and that'll be fun. Yeah. So all right. So let's get started on this because there's so much to do. There's so little time.
Yes.
We
doing Kenobi?
Yeah, no, let's do Book of Boba Fett first.
Okay.
Before we get into that, I want to mention I am reading the comments. So Kyler McGee, hey, what's up? How do I enter the giveaway? I already answered that. Brian, again, follow us. Comment on any stream in the month of May. This is the May, as they're saying now. The kids are saying on social media. And
so what you're saying is, by asking how to enter the giveaway, they entered the giveaway.
As long as you like us on Facebook. Or you're a subscriber on Twitch or YouTube. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's very easy.
Brian says, "Hey yo, don't call me a hoe," and then he says, "Happy May the 4th." Hey, to you as a mom, my friend. It's the reason for the season. It's probably the closest I get to a religious holiday.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah. There was a rumor going around that they were going to like officially announce the first person shooter that's supposed to be coming from Star Wars today. Hasn't happened yet. The second that it does, I'll make sure that we'll post it somewhere and we'll talk about it.
I thought that rumor was that it was coming at Star Wars Celebration, or am I confusing that with some other announcement?
Well, they're supposed to do Jedi Fallen Order, the sequel.
Right.
There.
That's what it was.
So that rumor was probably just it's one of the reasons I didn't post it anywhere is because I didn't see anything that really corroborated it. So it ended up not happening. And so when it gets announced, we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So today, one of the two exciting things that happened was for every Disney Plus series that has come out for Star Wars, I think they do these for the Marvel shows too. They do a really neat like hour-long like making of. And I think like the first Mandalorian season got like a 6-hour, like had like 6 different episodes, and like they went into it. And I think
it felt like they did an episode for every episode of the show almost, and I think they realized real quick that was overkill. Yeah.
Also, the first season of Mandalorian was really novel to everyone because it's like the first live action Star Wars show. So you understand why. Daniel, what's up? Hey man. So I had a chance to watch it today. It was only an hour. It was a lot of fun, and there were so many. The first thing that just really kind of popped out at me immediately is how much of a joy Tamora Morrison is.
Yeah.
And how he doesn't take being in Star Wars for granted at all.
Yeah.
He really seems like he's having the absolute time of his life. And he seems like he is, and it based off of what everyone else is saying about him, is he's just like the kindest, most gentle man in the world that has a face that says, "I'll kick your ass," which I think is pretty great.
Well, what struck me about Tamora Morrison is that like you hear him talk as Boba Fett, and he has this kind of growly, gravelly voice, and that's just actually what his voice sounds like.
Yeah,
like, he's not putting on an act. That's just how he talks.
Yeah, but then he smiles, and it's like the most like disarming thing in the world. He's probably like in all the sands of Tatooine, he's probably got the best fucking teeth in the world. And did you catch before we get into any more of this, did you catch the song that he fucking sings with his guitar about being on the sand? I can't remember what song he was like covering, but it was really, really great.
It was 12-bar blues. He was covering anything.
Yeah, well, it was a particular song he was doing. He just changed the lyrics, and it's kind of cool that the guy that directed the Mandalorian episode with Boba Fett in it was really involved in the Book of Boba Fett, and they both apparently play guitar and work out together, which is whatever. Straight guys do the weirdest fucking things. I don't know.
Hey man, bromance.
Yeah, so good for them. I thought it was really neat that they made this big special thing about how this wasn't a character that you were supposed to care about. This is supposed to be just some badass character, gunslinger in the background of a couple scenes in Empire Strikes Back, and that's all it was supposed to be. And now he's kind of just like come right to the forward of everything, and now he's got his own fucking show and everything. And I thought it was pretty interesting that's kind of what Star Wars fans do. And sometimes it just really gets me and it irritates the fuck out of me. But sometimes we all kind of collectively look at something and we're like, all right, that's pretty fucking cool. Can we have more of that, please? And then if they can, they do it.
It's really an illustration of the power that leaving a little bit of mystery in your fiction gives.
Yeah.
Like by giving so much room, leaving like telling us so little about Boba Fett, they gave us so much room to imagine things
Hmm.
and make up our own headcanon.
Yeah.
And so that I think that's why Boba Fett has always been so beloved, just because there's so little structure to him that you can
Mm.
sort of put whatever you want in there.
So do you think that that's intentional genius on the part of George Lucas, or is that perhaps his tendency to underdevelop things because he just doesn't care about that particular detail? Because
Maybe
like for example, do you see any of the names he names people that aren't like main characters?
I mean, he named Cad Bane, which is like the most transparently bad guy name
Well,
ever.
well, even that, like Salacious B. Crumb
Mm-hmm.
and the guy that tries to sell Obi-Wan death sticks.
Yep.
Something sleaze Bagano or something.
Yeah.
Like they're details that he doesn't care about. He's like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to give him a goofy fucking name, and if someone looks in the Star Wars Ultimate Visual Guide, they'll get a laugh out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of makes me wonder: was that the same thing with Boba Fett? He's like, I don't give a fuck what his name is. I just want him to sit there and look cool with a gun.
Well, if I remember right, Boba Fett was originally conceived as like this Imperial super soldier program,
right,
or something. So like
they were gonna have a lot of them, and then they're like, "This
yeah.
is way too expensive. We can't do this."
I don't think George Lucas had that much in mind for Boba Fett. If anything, it was genius on the part of the director of Empire Strikes Back to put like just have him there and look cool and be ominous, and then say like two things and then disappear onto his ship.
Also, whoever's idea it was to put him in the Star Wars Star Wars Holiday Celebration, riding a mythosaur.
Yeah,
because that was the first canon appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we really have to get through this Kenobi bullshit because it's crazy. The thing that I was, and this is going to be part retrospective. I think the consensus, even amongst people who are like really in love with Luke Skywalker, watched the Book of Boba Fett and was like, there for a couple of episodes, this shit went right off the rails and it wasn't a Boba Fett show anymore. And like, I love Luke Skywalker, but it's like, why the fuck is he in this show? And so that's the first thing. And I'm not bitching about it. I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. I've accepted it. It doesn't matter. That being said, I did not realize that they still had Mark Hamill acting all of the scenes. Like, he had to drag his 68-year-old ass out of bed and sit cross-legged on the ground in what looks like one of the most uncomfortable seating positions I've ever seen in my life, and act as Luke Skywalker. And he looks like it's the most important thing to him in that moment. And it's really neat that after all of these years, and after how annoying Star Wars fans can be, and how some people can't distinguish the difference between actors and characters, that Mark Hamill is like, hey, I'm kind of a steward of this role, and I'm going to take it seriously because I know how much it means to you guys. And so here we are. And he still does these because they don't have to have Mark Hamill when they're doing these shows, right? They didn't use any of the footage of him. They just use it for reference, and but he's like, you know what, I'm going to show up and do it anyway. It'll still be a lot of fun. And the other thing also that I just thought was fucking hilarious is they're like, how do we make Grogu do front flips?
Yeah.
And they're like, and they got that one guy like practicing doing the front flips between the two little posts and shit. I just thought that was really funny.
Regarding Mark Hamill, I think he acknowledges what an important character Luke Skywalker is to his career and also to him personally.
Oh, sure.
Because like that was one of, if not his first major job doing Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And like,
he was sleeping on a friend's couch when he got that gig.
Yeah. He could not possibly have imagined where it was going to lead.
No.
And I think
not even Harrison Ford. I think Harrison Ford wouldn't, like, I don't know, maybe he wouldn't have done it. But like, I think Harrison Ford was like, you know what, no one will ever see this. I'll never be embarrassed by this. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just some schlocky sci-fi movie. Who cares? But like, I think Mark Hamill takes so much care with Luke because he understands that it means a lot to a lot of people, and I think it means a lot to him because it is what put him on the map.
Yeah.
Two other things that jumped out at me. that Rosario Dawson, when she was reading her script, as Ahsoka Tano said, okay, she's going to go to this planet and meet Plo Koon. She's
Yeah.
like, okay, who the fuck is Plo Koon? I guess I'll just show up and ask my questions there. And then she got on set and found out that it's Mark fucking Hamill over there. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah. So I wonder if they maybe filmed some of those scenes really close to, or maybe right after the season 2 end for Mandalorian. Because like it got out that they used Plo Koon as a placeholder for Luke for that. So like if I were like literally anyone in the world after I saw that and I see like a Star Wars script like, oh, it's Plo Koon, and you're like, you mean Luke Skywalker? It's clearly going to be Luke Skywalker. Yeah. So
especially anything after Order 66. Yeah. Like Plo Koon is dead. I'm sorry.
Also, it's kind of goofy. It's like you can tell that Rosario Dawson isn't necessarily a Star Wars fan because like Plo Koon's probably the most, aside from Anakin, the most important person to Ahsoka, because he's the Jedi Master that discovered her and brought her to the Jedi Temple and shit. So it's
the other thing that really jumped out at me was like when Ming-Na Wen was talking about, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
She's so great, yeah.
And like she's on set and like, just so you guys know, when all this Star Wars shit starts happening, I might just break character and just giggle or something.
That would be me if I was on the set of Star Wars. I'd be like, I need a minute to not cry. Like I need a minute to not freak the fuck out right now. A gentleman says, "How are you? You deserve a like." Oh, well, thank you. We're fine. Aww. Especially now that we're one more like. We have one more like than we thought we'd get. So. If you have the chance, you go watch on Disney Plus the Disney Gallery feature or whatever it's called of Book of Boba Fett. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of really great stuff in it, and how they brought the Rancor to life, and how they came up with the concept of the muscle car N1 Naboo starfighter. And
God, I wish they did more with Danny Trejo in the actual show.
That's another person who's like, you know what? I just get to be in Star Wars, and it's so fucking cool, and I'm just here like I'm along for the ride, you know.
And like his whole thing was like, I don't trust people who don't like dogs, and this Rancor is just a giant fucking dog.
Yeah, dude. He said that, and it resonated with my soul because I do not trust people. It's not because I know that some people are dog like some people are afraid of dogs, for example. Yeah. But I do not trust people who either don't like dogs or cats, who's like no fucking animals ever. It's like, what kind of a person are you actually? Because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't track with me. So another big probably the thing that's most important today is that we had the second I would say full length trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the upcoming Star Wars show on Disney Plus, which is actually coming out the 27th, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be fucking amazing, especially now that I've seen this other trailer too. So as we're doing this, I've got a slideshow that we'll be doing here in the end, or not in the end, but as we're doing this, and I've got like I went and because they didn't have like a closed captioning transcription. So I went and like typed all the lines out myself, so I knew exactly what they were saying and everything.
Sure.
So it opens with like a setting of the second melody of Duel of the Fates, that boo boo doo 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 doo. Except it's a little bit slower. This has has nothing to do with the analysis. I just noticed that like Duel of the Fates happens at like quite a clip. Like it's not a slow thing at all, and they kind of slowed it down a little bit.
Well, it's like in movie trailers where they take some pop song and make it like really slow and in a minor key, and it's just changes the character. Right,
and I will say that with some actual analysis of this, actually, I'm gonna take our slideshow off just for a second because we're gonna get into this. So you have a couple of choices here, right? You can do they did both choices in the first trailer, where your choices you can do Duel of the Fates or you can do Battle of the Heroes, and they use both of those both of those themes in the first episode or in the first Obi-Wan trailer, right? And I noticed that in this trailer they didn't use Battle of the Heroes at all. They only used Duel of the Fates, and I think on the surface, at face value, you might be thinking, I mean, this is the music that underscored the duel between Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Like, what the fuck does this have to do with Vader and with the Inquisitors and everything? And I was thinking about it a little bit, and there's this really neat point that what is his name? I always do this when I'm like,
Filoni?
yeah, Dave Filoni, yeah, where he talks about like the meaning of the title of that work, Duel of the Fates, and how the duel that's happening is almost more of a duel of ideas. That's the fight is over Anakin's soul.
Yeah.
And that the bad guy or the bad guys win the duel in episode 1.
Yes. The dark side wins, even though Maul gets cut in half. The dark side wins because he kills Qui-Gon, who was the closest thing Anakin had to a father figure.
Right. And so I think I'm not sure if they're reading that much into that. They're probably just like, you know what, fans are gonna fucking lose it when they hear, you know, Duel of the Fates. So we got to put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to get super meta about it, if you want to like go super analysis on it, I think it's really there's another avenue of meaning using Duel of the Fates for this as well. So I'm always glad to hear it because it's just fucking. I mean, out of all of the musical themes that came out of cinema in 1999, and for the next 20 years, Duel of the Fates was the best one. So you know. Gentleman says, I need to go want something. I don't know what that means, but we're going to keep on going with our Kenobi together. Okay, so first shot I pulled here is a ship flying through the atmosphere into a town. Or I think it's at least the same city that's kind of like that comes up throughout the trailer.
Yeah, the big nighttime neon lit city.
Which apparently is called Dayu. According to an interview with Entertainment Weekly, the writer Job Harold described the planet as sort of a Hong Kong feel. It's got a graffiti written nightlife, and it's kind of edgy. It's just got a different lane and a different feeling, which you kind of get in some of the other shots of oops, hold on a second.
What'd you do now?
I'm pressing the wrong button to go forward in my slideshow. There we go. Okay, so like when you see the stormtroopers marching through the street there, like it's there are lots of lights, lots of billboards, lots of color. Which I've never personally been to Hong Kong, but it's in pretty much every movie ever now, because they have to appeal to that market. So they're like, oh, we'll put we'll put stuff from China here. So
it gave me very slight Coruscant vibes,
yeah.
But like there's less sense of altitude than Coruscant has.
Yeah, Coruscant actually, if you think about it, is this impossibly dense planet, you know, with all these people and stuff. We get a shot of at least the 3 Inquisitors that we've seen so far, and what we know is that if we're going left to right here in the photo, there's third sister, who's played by Moses Ingram. I guess the character's name is Reva. Rupert Friend, of course, is playing the Grand Inquisitor, and then Sung Kang is playing the 5th brother.
Okay.
And in this shot, they're definitely all on Tatooine.
Yes.
Like this is definitely Tatooine architecture. You can tell because like all of the locals. Like, I don't know if it's that Tatooine thing, but they all look at outsiders the same way. They're like, what the fuck are you doing here? So
why would anyone come to Tatooine?
Yeah.
It's a terrible place.
Right. Yeah, you can't be here for good reasons. And the ship they have is really neat. It's one thing I noticed is that like seeing it from this angle, it's such a unique shape and kind of a weird bad guy ship. I really love it. And then 5th brother in the next shot, walking up to, I don't know, some like Tatooine Amish woman with a lightsaber on his back. He's just got like, what if this is just the plot of the whole movie? Is that the Inquisitors are just asking random people if they've seen Obi-Wan Kenobi? Like he walks up to this lady, he's like, "Hey, did you know Obi-Wan? Did you know where he lives? Okay, bye." Hey, you, come over here. Have you seen this man?
You seen a Jedi lately? Yeah. No? Okay.
Yeah.
Go about your business.
So for real, though, they're probably just walking around fucking intimidating people because that's what you do, you know?
Yeah.
There's another shot of Rupert Friend as the Grand Inquisitor, who's in the cantina there, just kind of like, I don't know, looking like death at some poor woman. And I've noticed that everyone's outrage over the general shape of his head has kind of died down. I think people are like, I think what people tried to do is like, do you remember once the first trailer for Sonic came out? And
Yes.
everyone hated how Sonic looked, so everyone just
Mhm.
freaked the fuck out. And then they were like, you know what, we're going to delay it a few months and we'll fix it. I
Yeah.
think that's what they were trying to do. And then Star Wars is like, we're done with this. And we're not delaying it anymore. You guys have to
Yeah.
fucking deal with it. So this is him. Like, you've seen Obi-Wan? Do you know this guy named Obi-Wan? Here's a picture of him.
Yeah. No, guess you don't. Okay.
Also, yeah. Also, like, one of these poor Cantina customers is probably going to die. I'm just saying.
At least one.
Yeah. Daniel says, I can't wait for this to come out. Oh, dude, you don't even fucking talk to me about how you can't wait. I literally cannot wait. Next shot is third sister, Reva,
Mm-hmm.
who's about to walk up to another person and be like, hey, have you seen this guy, Obi-Wan? And they're just going to not answer, I guess. So let's talk about the script a little bit throughout this.
Okay.
Okay. So up to this point, Obi-Wan says they're coming. Stay hidden or we will not survive. It does not sound like he's talking to the Jedi. Or, sorry, it does not sound like he's talking to Uncle Owen or Aunt Beru on this. The way that I read into this, they're coming, stay hidden, or we will not survive. I think perhaps there might be some other Jedi hanging around. And I think that's maybe why they're on Tatooine. Or why the Inquisitors are originally on Tatooine. I think
that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they track another Jedi to Tatooine. Obi-Wan, who of course is gonna, it's like when two guys driving a Corvette like see each other on the road and they have to give each other the little Corvette salute or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never owned a Corvette, so I don't know if they do this or not. But like, it's like, that like two Jedi like walk in the street and they just kind of like head nod each other. They just kind of know. So he probably like pulls him aside and he's like, dude, don't make a scene because we're so fucked. And then, so this next shot, I
know as soon as you saw this, you messaged me and said, "That's an Inquisitor at the Lars farm."
I think,
right?
I think I was just so excited about it, I wasn't like looking at it carefully enough. It's definitely not. It's just Uncle Owen. Because
that's just Owen and Beru.
Yeah, I was thinking about, because it really spiked my anxiety, the idea of an Inquisitor just being that close to Luke Skywalker, and then
the thing is, like, I think if an Inquisitor was that close, they would sense something about Luke. Like the
Right.
Jedi could pick out Force-sensitive babies.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I absolutely agree, and that's why like I started thinking about it more too. I don't think that there is a possibility of them getting this close without dying. I think Obi-Wan's like last ditch thing is like, okay, they're here, I'm gonna kill them and I'll just take the kid and run.
Yeah,
because you can't leave him there, right?
Yeah,
because the invader knows and shit. So it's just Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. But again, the shot of Luke on his riding his house like a pod racer.
Yeah.
It's just it evokes Anakin in all kinds of ways, and it's fucking precious, and I love it. And baby Luke must be protected at all costs. There's the other shot of Kenobi looking at him through his binoculars, which is a meme now, by the way.
Yep.
So thank God for that. Owen says, "Leave us alone. When the time comes, he must." And then Obi-Wan says, "When the time comes, he must be trained." And then Owen, who went to like the hard knock school of like
he gets
punching
so
you,
sassy.
yeah, punching you right in the dick, is like you trained his father. And then Obi-Wan's got this look on his face like,
dude, low blow.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's actually a pretty good point. And so my partner John and I had a quick discussion about this. Who, God bless his soul, he's conducting a middle school band concert tonight. But anyway, it's weird that Obi-Wan would want to wait to train Luke. I have a feeling that maybe Obi-Wan's like, he needs to be trained right now because I've seen what happens when you wait too long to have these kids trained and then they kill all your friends. So I wonder maybe if Obi-Wan doesn't approach him pretty early on, like, I need to train this kid as a Jedi because if I wait too long, what the consequences are. Like bad shit happens.
At the very least, he might feel that he needs to train Luke to conceal his presence in the Force, specifically because there's Vader and the Inquisitors running around out there.
That's a good point. Or just to make sure that he knows what he has.
Yes.
And not have to, not have to have everyone ignore it, and then him grappling with this life of having weird shit happen around you, not knowing why,
Or even worse, falling to the dark side and not even knowing what's happening.
So that's a good point too. Yeah. So, hold on a second. Here's another sad Luke from Kenobi. He's like, you punched me right in the dick, Uncle Owen. Don't do that. Next shot is in the Inquisitors' crib.
Mm-hmm.
their government sanctioned building, I assume.
Probably their command ship or something.
No, it's the Fortress Inquisitorius, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Grand Inquisitor, I think, is the one who says this. It says you still want Kenobi? He's gone. And I don't know if he's talking to Vader or Reva, who answers, maybe you've been looking in the wrong places. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that that Vader is obsessed with Obi-Wan being the Jedi that they find. They've got this whole list of confirmed surviving Jedi. They're hunting down as many of them as they can. There's still this one name right at the top of the list that they've never been able to find. And Vader just being so fucking obsessive over it. And just because that's how he is, right?
Yeah.
Even before he was Vader, when he was Anakin, he just obsesses over things. And that's part of the reason why he, freaked out.
To be fair, if someone cut off 3 of my limbs and then left me by the side of a river of lava to burn up and die, I would probably be a little obsessed over them too.
Yeah, that's fair. So Reva answers, maybe you've been looking in all the wrong places. I want every lowlife and bounty hunter to squeeze him. And we're going to get to that bounty hunter thing. Did you notice the LOM series droid we're going to have come up here in a second? We'll get there. So there's Kenobi riding through a desert on an EOP with no name, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And there are three vessels that shoot out of the Inquisitors Fortress. They actually kind of look like escape pods to me. I think that they're probably like some kind of probe thing, or maybe they're the different Inquisitors. No, because they fly that like fucking sweet ship. I don't know. It's probably like a probe droid or something. I don't know.
That would be my guess.
Yeah. And then Reva's looking over the Hong Kong analog, and there's a gunfight happening on another rooftop that she's kind of watching. Mm-hmm. There is a shot of Obi-Wan showing up on some kind of database.
A wanted poster, I think.
Yep. And the text here, which I have translated for all of you because I am that kind of person, says, "Wanted, Obi-Wan Kenobi, offenses, high treason, bounty upon capture."
Okay.
Which is nothing, nothing groundbreaking. Like that's all information that we know is happening. Yeah. And then the next shot in our breakdown here is a bounty hunter, at least from the LOM series. May actually be for LOM, though I don't think it is. Yeah. So either there are more droids of this. So for those of you who don't know, 4-LOM is one of the bounty hunters that were present in Empire Strikes Back when Vader is like, you know what? I'm tired of trying to catch these motherfuckers. You guys do it yourself. I'll give you guys money. He's one of the bounty hunters.
If it's not 4-LOM, it's at least a nice continuity nod.
Yeah. And this is right around where Reva says, "I want every low life and bounty hunter to squeeze him."
Yep.
So they're trying to find him. And Obi-Wan is the one. Poor Obi-Wan is getting into a lot of fucking gunfights in this trailer, and as we know,
so uncivilized.
Yeah, we know that he doesn't necessarily enjoy that. And then there's this brilliant fucking hallway fight scene. One of the guys is a Zabrak, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. Oop.
It went by kind of fast. I don't think I saw.
One of them says, I'm trying to fix the chat box here because it got all out of whack. There we go.
Oh yeah, but looking at your stills, yeah, he definitely has horns.
Yeah. He's a horny boy. Wonder if Obi-Wan goes to Dagobah to see Yoda. I doubt it. I doubt that they see each other ever again.
Yeah,
I'm
on board with you.
that would be. I think I think that as important as it was to protect the children, I think Obi-Wan and Yoda not being in the same place at the same time is critically important.
Yeah.
Because that, like, to talk about a big fucking shining light beacon, about where either of them is. Remember that Yoda went to Dagobah to shield himself in the dark side, pretty much, to kind of like create this negative space. So for those of you who follow the show, and who have like listened to us just like drone on and on about our lives, I've been a practicing martial artist since I was a wee baby, and you and I both spent a lot of time in college doing martial arts and teaching martial arts and things. And he's literally using techniques straight out of the martial art that I studied forever, Japanese martial art called Aikido. And the whole point of Aikido is that you don't meet conflict with conflict, that when someone swings at you, instead of hitting them, you move out of the fucking way, right? You move out of the way and you let them fall over, and as they're falling over, you give them a little shove so they fall down harder. Like, that's pretty much what it is. And it employs a bunch of different joint locks and arm locks, and he's literally using a textbook kindergarten level Aikido. Not to say that it's stupid. It's just like, it's a very fundamental part of Aikido called kotegaeshi, which is this, you grab the wrist, turn it in a way that it's not naturally meant to be twisted, and it hurts a lot. And if you ever find yourself in it, the first thing you think is, oh God, why? Oh God, why? And that's what happens to this guy, and he just flips right the fuck over. And it's not even it's not even the only time he does it in the trailer either. And so this poor Zabrak is like getting his shit rocked pretty much. And so this right here where we are in the stills, he's his left hand has that lock employed against his wrist. And basically what you do from this point is extend past your opponent's shoulder, and more times than not, instead of just falling over, the person flips over like a fucking cartwheel, and then they just lay on the ground and scream.
I do have to say, it's an inspired choice to have Obi-Wan use Aikido. It's a very Obi-Wan style.
It's a very Jedi thing too. It wouldn't surprise me if that's obviously not what it's called in the Star Wars universe, but
sure.
Since it's primarily a self-defense passive way to fight, it would make sense that that's what the Jedi would do.
I not all Jedi, because I have a hard time believing like Anakin or Mace Windu.
Oh yeah, Mace Windu just probably
Aikido,
Mace Windu probably just punches people. Punch you in the face.
For Obi-Wan, it's a perfect choice.
Yeah. Jimmy says they see each other after he dies. He's on Dagobah with. Yeah, I mean, that's different.
Okay.
Yeah, that's different than him like showing up while he's alive. Yeah. Like I would presume that when he's a Force ghost, he could show up right next to Vader and it wouldn't fucking matter. He'd just blink into existence. He'd be like, "Hey, you sound fucking weird when you breathe like that," and just disappear. like it wouldn't matter, right? Like the point I'm making.
Now I really want to see fucking Force Ghost Obi-Wan just trolling the shit out of Vader.
It's like whoop, and then Obi-Wan shows up. And he's like, "Hey, those boxes are blinking on your chest. What
hey,
is that?
what are those lights on your chest?
Yeah,
do?
what is this one?
What happens if I poke it?
I'm gonna press it. I'm." Vader's like, get out.
Vader's like,
I'm trying to do my weird bath. So next is the Inquisitors Fortress, which made its debut in Jedi Fallen Order. It's most of it's underwater, and it's during that spot in the game where you show up, Vader shows up, you're like, all right, boss fight. You go hit him. You go try to hit him, and you're like, "This motherfucker doesn't have a health bar. What the fuck am I gonna do?" So there's a ship kind of like riding on that way. It's probably one of the Inquisitors. And then another shot in the same building. Stormtroopers, Death Troopers, I think.
Some kind of elite trooper, at least.
And then the Inquisitor here, Reva, has her lightsaber out. And I'm just realizing, I'm going to go back to that one. I think this comes back in the trailer here in a couple seconds where she's blocking blaster bolts.
Yeah, something's going on there.
Does Obi-Wan just show up with a gun? And it's like, you know what, I'm just going to fucking shoot all you guys now. This will take care of everything.
I wonder if Obi-Wan got roped into doing something for the Resistance or the
The
Rebellion.
rebellion, like the proto rebellion.
Yeah. If what's his name? Jimmy Smits called him. I was like, "Hey, we need your help to go do a thing." And Obi-Wan's like, "Fine, but only because it's you, Jimmy Smits." And they go attack the fortress,
Oh,
Inquisitorius or whatever.
that seems exceedingly dangerous. I don't know if Obi-Wan would do that. I mean, that's a suicide mission.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's
I'm
I don't know. Maybe it's another Jedi or something. Or I don't know. Maybe this is where that fight with Vader happens.
I mean, this is why I'm not a professional Star Wars writer. I'm just throwing ideas at the wall here.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Actually, now that I saw that and I'm thinking about it, that's like oh shit, like something happens there.
Yeah.
Next shot is Obi-Wan doing the thing that he thought he'd never do after he killed Grievous, which is pointing and shooting a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way he gets this gun, by the way, is using the same technique we described earlier on another poor fucking stormtrooper who's probably now has a broken wrist. So good job. I don't know why I got so many shots of this. I think it's because he looks so fucking badass with his gun out and his hair is like you know,
His hair's just flying around.
This also, now that I'm looking at it, okay, so there's a crashed probe droid in the back.
Yes.
This does not look like Tatooine.
There's too many plants.
Yeah, there's too many plants.
I don't know.
Yeah, this got to be somewhere, and I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's Daiyu, the Hong Kong city planet thing.
Probably not.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, then we got a shot of this fucking, I don't know what the fuck this thing is, a droid maybe, or like another bounty hunter?
I think that's a droid. Another droid bounty hunter.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll figure that out. I know someone's like, oh, what if it's Rex? And it's like, well, what if it's fucking not, dude? What if it's something that isn't that cliche? And then here's a shot at Reva at the Inquisitors Fortress, blocking some blaster bolts. This is the thing though, is it like if Obi-Wan just showed up, like you know that they know he's Obi-Wan. Yeah. It's not like, I have to disguise my identity, so I'm going to use a gun. Like, you know that he's just going to pull his lightsaber at me like, okay, I'm going to whoop your ass now, right? Yeah. Like, he's not going to, I don't know. So maybe it is Obi-Wan, maybe it's not. I don't know. If you look really carefully there in the background, you see the TIE fighters hanging from the ceiling, getting ready to be deployed, which is, I think, kind of a neat little thing. And I don't know. She looks like she can take care of her business with a fucking lightsaber. Yeah. So the next shot is what is this guy's name? Hold on, I wrote it down somewhere. I always have trouble remembering what his name is. Hold on, it's in my notes.
I'm sure it is because I don't fucking know his name.
Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah, the guy that's in Eternals.
Oh,
he's the Bollywood guy in Eternals.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right around here, you hear Reva scream, "You can't win, Obi-Wan!" And then you see this guy who, now that I'm looking at him, is wearing Jedi robes.
Probably, yeah.
So this guy is a Jedi, which means that he's dead. Like, he's going to die, right?
Yeah.
And then the next shot is, I thought this was just Mickey Mouse. I swear to fucking God, Chris, I thought they put Mickey Mouse right the fucking Star Wars with this little cute droid thing.
A Mickey Mouse droid, yeah.
Yeah. It's a Star Wars trope. You get in trouble, you turn to your droid, you're like, take this, take my weed. I can't get caught with this. Get the fuck out of here. And then they fuck off and save the whole galaxy or whatever. And the droids have been becoming cuter and cuter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had the original droids, which, R2 was adorable, and then we had BB-8, which was like, the first time I saw him, I was like, oh my God, that's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then BD-1 in
Fallen
Order, and now we have like Mickey Mouse droid, who's like the size of a pancake, and with little ears. Another shot, a different planet. They're not on the fortress anymore. Reva has her lightsaber out, pointed at somebody. This is where she's screaming, "You can't escape him." And now that I'm looking behind her, that does seem to be a Mon Calamari ship behind her, the one that was
either that or one of the rebel transports they used from escaping from Hoth.
Yeah, those are Mon Calamari ships.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're a part of the rebellion. I mean, throughout everything. So,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think they kind of use them. Well, hold on a second. Hold on.
Like I never understood those transports to be explicitly Mon
No.
Cal.
I made a category error. Sorry. You are right about the transports. These are like raw material cargo box haulers.
Yeah.
So underneath them they have all of the like the shipping containers, and they retrofitted those for the rebellion. The Mon Calamari ships had the blisters on them and shit. Which, by the way, I remember the day as a kid I discovered that those blisters on the Mon Calamari ships detach and become bombs.
Really?
Yeah, they're like yeah, have this, and they just like detach one of the things, they blow up. I thought it was
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. And then we get to the next shot, which is where everyone starts to shit in their pants.
Like, oh my god, they're putting Darth Vader together.
It's like, what are they doing with that arm? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the arm that Obi-Wan. Well, it's not the arm that Obi-Wan cut off, but actually that's the arm Dooku cut off.
Yes.
Yeah, his right arm. And so they're starting to put Vader together. Right, right as Reva's saying you can't escape him. Obviously talking about
obviously, yes.
Vader. So fifth brother trudging through the hallways with some Imperials and another Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
Another shot at the Inquisitor's palace.
Some stormtroopers and some other troopers.
Yeah, black troopers.
Oh my god, you can't just say black troopers.
I didn't mean it like that. For shot of Obi-Wan looking kind of distressed. I don't know. Yeah. This is kind of his face now, I think. His life sucks so much.
Yeah, this is just his life.
Yeah. And then the other part where everyone starts shitting their pants, a very familiar control box.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that shit isn't strapped on.
No, it's poking into his abs.
Yeah, it's like that's so grotesque. They just
so is Darth Vader. When
the whole idea. Yeah, so they like stab his control box into his chest. Like, I hope this helps. Ugh. And then it lights up because that motherfucker lights up like we know it does. And I've always thought when I was a kid, I always thought those were little coin slots. Like that's what I always imagined. Like it's like, oh shit, I'm out of oxygen. I have to put a quarter in. And then
that would be a different kind of dystopian emperor.
Yeah,
I think
that's capitalism emperor.
Yeah.
So as this happens, there's a really familiar sound that they set up in episode 3 where they put his helmet together for the first time, and there's that really high pitched rising high pitched sound that I think they took from, like, if you ever use a flash in a disposable camera, it has like really high pitched whine that just increases or like goes higher and higher in pitch.
While it's charging.
Yeah. The same sound effect for when they plug his chest box in. And cuts to Obi-Wan sitting there, perhaps caught by Imperials, or whatever, looking a whole bunch like he just figured out that Anakin Skywalker is still alive.
Just looking very pensive.
Yeah, well, this doesn't look pensive to me at all.
Concerned?
His face, as far as I can tell, is screaming, "Oh my fucking god!" And I think it's at some point I think he probably figures out that, he didn't do the job like he thought he did.
Of course he didn't. He walked away and left him to burn to death.
Right. I think he just kind of assumed. He's like, it's not like the Emperor is about to come save him. Like, he'll be fine.
There's no way. Yeah. Yoda took care of the Emperor. Yeah. It's fine.
I think that at some point in this, it has to be revealed that Obi-Wan realizes that Anakin Skywalker isn't dead anymore, or was never dead. Yeah. I wouldn't be entirely surprised at some point for him to be like, either I have to go finish this or I have to go save him. Like, oh my god, what have I done? He's still alive. Like, how could I do this?
I think he will definitely go for the finishing route, because like he was trying to encourage Luke to kill Vader in Return of the Jedi, and Luke was the only one who's like, no, I can actually turn him back. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good point. No, I appreciate that a lot, actually. That's actually really funny, because Ben Kenobi's like, I really need you to finish this.
Yeah.
So, look, I am beyond excited for this. I'm pissed that it's coming one episode at a week per week after the first two.
Yeah.
When this drops, we'll be. I think we're gonna do a special episode after because all of the episodes fall on Wednesday except for the first two, which happen on the same day on the 27th when it releases.
Yes.
And so I think when it releases, we'll probably have some kind of special live show, probably that evening or whenever, to recap it and fucking geek out, because that's what we're all waiting to do. Like, we're all waiting to see what's in it and fucking go crazy and talk about Star Wars. So we will absolutely be doing that. And then the trailer ends with him breathing, Vader's breathing, by the way. Jimmy says it's the same Luke. It's the same look Luke gives to Rey after she hands him the saber. I don't think it's true. I think the look on Luke's face is, get off my yard.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Dominique Thompson says, I am hyped for this show. Sir, I am hyped too. And I've had an erection all day because of this trailer. Let me just tell you. It's been quite the day. You're supposed to go to the hospital after 6 hours.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying it too much. All right. Oh, man.
Do we have like 5 minutes to talk about Moon Knight?
Yeah, we got 10 minutes. I cannot believe how long we talked about this. Let me put...
So I'm not even going to try to recap the whole episode.
Yeah, I'm going to put the spoilers on anyway. It just came out today.
Yes.
In case we spoil something, go watch it.
Yes. So the big things that jumped out to me in no particular order. First, this episode was really short. It was like 44 minutes or something.
Yeah, it felt a little short comparatively.
50. Yeah. It felt like they could have gone another like 5, maybe 10 minutes, and I wouldn't have complained. Just filling out some of the sequences.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like anytime Amit and Khonshu were fighting, it felt kind of underwhelming because they were just like punching each other, and sometimes Khonshu would like teleport around a little bit.
Yeah, he's got the weird the weird movement and stuff. They were kind of like trying to do the like the kaiju thing, I think.
It just didn't really strike me as like these are gods fighting. It just struck me as, oh, it's a big alligator and bird skull man punching each other.
They were very big. They were very, very, very large.
I halfway feel like they might have blown too much of their special effects budget on Harrow and his staff and all the purple effects.
Yeah, because that's what the MCU needs, is more, indistinct lasers shooting out of things.
Yeah.
That's pretty much everything in the MCU.
Big ups to Layla for not only sticking to her guns with turning down Khonshu, but then realizing that actually we do need an avatar and calling up Tawara and being like, okay, Hippo Lady, give me some armor.
Yeah, Tawaret, you are so much less a bastard, so why don't we just do that? Yeah. Her new armor was pretty sweet.
It distinctly reminded me of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Yeah. The avatars of the other gods just kind of went down like chumps.
Well, it happens off screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they wasted probably his fucking staff. You're probably right. The one guy like had his like white electricity magic ready to go, and like off screen you hear like, ow, ow, ow,
and then we come back and they're all dead.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I thought when Mark was trying to talk Steven out of being sand, that was kind of touching. It was a nice bit of full circle of Mark really acknowledging that like he needed Steven, like he created Steven for a reason, and it was just
he gave up heaven. He gave up like literal paradise to bring him back.
Yes. Let's see.
Which, by the way, that kind of theme in this kind of show would not work with a lesser actor than Oscar Isaac, because
very true.
It is so easy for me to forget when I'm watching it that they are not they're the same fucking person.
Yep.
And it's just like he acts so well, they're just so different that it's very easy to keep track of.
Speaking of, right after Mark and Steven convince Khonshu to release them, and there's this sequence in the mental hospital, Oscar Isaac goes back and forth between Mark and Steven like sentence to sentence.
Yeah, it's like really on the drop of a dime.
Impressive.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I like how Khonshu's response was like, Fine. I'm so tired of you.
Yeah. Like,
and then we're back in the mental hospital, and it's like,
yeah, like
what is real? I don't know what is real.
It's perplexing in the best way.
Yeah.
Because like it and then we gotta talk about the post-credit sequence.
Yep.
Where what we're assuming is Harrow in what we're assuming is the real world.
The real psychiatric hospital?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's in the psych ward that Mark and Steven were in, except that was in their mind, maybe?
I don't know, yeah.
And then he gets escorted out by this guy with wearing these ominous black gloves, and he's loaded in the limo like, oh, hey, it's Khonshu. You can't actually hurt us.
Which, by the way, Khonshu's like sitting there with his legs crossed, holding a fucking,
Yeah.
you know, a drink
looking
or whatever.
very sassy.
Yeah, he's very happy, actually.
And Khonshu's like, I can't hurt you, but have you met my friend Jake Lockley, who looks just like my friends Mark Spector and
Yeah.
Stephen Grant?
Yep.
And then Jake's like, I can hurt you, and shoots him a
Yep.
bunch.
Yeah, I guess Harrow's dead now. So I have some thoughts about this. First of all, it kind of confirms that there was one other presence in that
Yes.
one hospital, the mental hospital scene.
Mhm.
And Jake Lockley's from the comics, so like it wasn't that big surprise to anyone who's following it at all. I think we all kind of like expected that to happen. Look, nothing in this show, with the exception of a quick reference of the ancestral plane, connects to the MCU.
Yeah.
It's almost completely separate from the MCU, and Oscar Isaac is like, I mean, apparently he's only doing one season. He's never doing this again. And
well,
then,
so far,
yeah,
that's not to say Disney can't make a deal that'll get him to come back for something else,
Right.
but he's not committed to anything right now.
they kind of set it up in a post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, why would you set that up if you're not going to make more of it? But it's and look, not connecting to the MCU isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, the fact that it was kind of its own story and it kind of stood on its own and everything, like, that was really neat.
Do you think Layla comes back for something else?
Well, I think that they figure out that Mark and Steven are losing time. That, like, Mark's like, hey, did you have the body for a couple hours last night? And he's like, no, did you? No.
Yeah.
And then
like,
Layla being like, excuse me? And then having to figure it out.
That would be a really compelling story if they could get Oscar Isaac back to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that this was widely received enough to do a second season.
Yeah.
I don't think it was bad. I think it was a lot of fun to watch. I don't think that people have been watching it, really, honestly. Like, I think that the number of people watching Moon Knight is not as high as we expect.
I have certainly read and heard that people, like, this wasn't people's favorite Disney Plus series, which I can totally get. It's kind of all over the place.
It's definitely its own thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to follow, like, at the mindfuckiest.
Like, when it flies off the rails.
Like, to the level of the mindfuckiest episodes of WandaVision, I think.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we just finished all of WandaVision as a primer to see Doctor Strange in a couple days. So
it's probably a good idea.
Jimmy says, I'm sure there's rumors of Windu being in the show. I don't know if they're actually.
He's dead.
Yeah,
Mace Windu is dead. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Mace Windu is dead.
I also don't think that there are any actual credible rumors about it.
No,
I think most people
absolutely
are just like, no,
because he's dead.
Yeah. Okay, so looking forward, so there's we will probably be doing a special live stream on Friday after we see WandaVision. And if not Friday,
Strange, Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, it's pretty much WandaVision the movie.
WandaVision 2.
So if not on Friday, then maybe we'll do it remote over the weekend or something.
Who knows?
So we'll be checking that out, and of course we are really looking forward to Obi-Wan, especially after today. And
yes, and next Wednesday, a week from today, we're doing our Empire Strikes Back watch along. So come out for that.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go set up for our Star Wars: The Force Unleashed stream, which happens here in just a few minutes. So make sure you like the page, comment on any of the live streams this month for a chance to win $200.